Hey everybody, welcome back to Starting Carnivore. I realized I have never told you my name, so my name is Alex. I feel like it's better to make it personal, It's not like one of those big entertainment channels where, you know, it doesn't make sense that there's a single person behind it, but in my case, this is personal. I'm telling you about my life and the things I'm going through. So, my name is Alex. Nice to meet you. Wanted to give you an update. Happy day after Thanksgiving. I hope you all had a really good holiday and that you didn't cheat too badly on your diets. I wanted to report in on how my cheat day went because Thanksgiving was a planned cheat day for me. And it was very much an experimental thing. And my cat really wants to be in this picture. I'm sure she'll be up here soon. It was a planned cheat day. There she goes. And I think it went really well. And I'm glad that Yoshi's in the picture because she'll get more views than I will. Anyway, I was interested to see how my body would react and also to see would I binge, because I know for a fact that I have binging tendencies. And I thought, well, here are the things that I was worried about ahead of time. So I was worried that I would binge, that I would eat a little bit of carbs and then be like, oh, that's so good, I want some more. I was also worried that I would feel terrible later that night, that, I would just be feeling, withdrawal, keto, flu, those sort of symptoms. And, I was just also worried that it would take me a long time to get back on the train. That it'd be like, oh, I fell off the wagon, and it takes me, days or weeks to get back on the wagon. So let's talk about each of those and how those went. So first of all, I ate one cheat meal. So it was not a cheat day, it was a cheat meal. And it tasted really great. I had one plate. I made sure not to take seconds or anything, but I filled up my plate, not even a lot, just medium. And I had mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, I had a roll with butter, I had turkey, obviously, and then I had 2 slices of pecan pie, which was fantastic. I really wanted that pecan pie, and it was great. It hit the spot. So and we did it for lunch. We're a family that does Thanksgiving lunch, and so speaking to my first point that I would binge, I did not binge. I was able to control it, which is a very new thing. It's very weird to have willpower like this. And I blame it on the carnivore diet, where my body feels like it's being, satiated by meat and proper human food. So when I did get that junk food, I didn't feel like, oh, I need more of this because it tastes good and it's, firing off all these dopamine receptors. So I ate one meal, and then I did not eat dinner that night because the plan was to fast. So my plan was eat the meal and honestly eat whatever I wanted at the meal, and then fast for one day to allow my body to burn off the sugar and the carbs and whatnot. So I ate the meal. I did not eat dinner, and I was able to successfully not binge. It was really a neat feeling. In Thanksgiving's past, it's always like you eat a ton, usually have a second helping, and then often later that night you come back and have leftover Thanksgiving. So you're having like 3 huge helpings of Thanksgiving meal, including the desserts, including the pies. And so historically, I would always feel pretty lousy on Thanksgiving night and maybe even the following day, as my body's just like, oh, I have so much junk in me. I didn't get that at all. So I did not eat dinner afterwards. I have not eaten breakfast, and we're actually right at lunch the following day, and I still have not eaten anything. And you know what? My body does not feel hungry. So far, that's good. Mission accomplished. And my plan is probably to eat dinner maybe tonight. I don't know. I might wait till breakfast tomorrow morning. I have a little extra time tomorrow. I have to work on Saturday, but I should have time to make my own breakfast tomorrow, so maybe I can just break my fast with breakfast. How, you know, it's very appropriate to break my fast with break fast, the meal. Anyway, so binging was not a concern. So I think if I had had a whole cheat day where I woke up and I had a cheat breakfast and then a cheat lunch and a cheat dinner, I think I absolutely could have binged. I see that potential in me for doing that. But I think having one cheat meal worked really well. So honestly, I forget what my second point was. I'll probably have to go back and look at the video. But the other thing, oh, I worried that I would feel really lousy. So I did not. So the only negative thing that I felt, actually there were two, and they were minor. First of all, I felt hungry. And when I say hungry, I mean the old style of hungry where I want carbs. I hadn't felt that in 7 weeks because I've been on carnivore for 7 weeks. I have not felt that sort of like, oh, I can feel it in the acid in my stomach, and it like I need more food. So I felt that again, I'm sure because I ate carbs and sugar. And so, but it wasn't bad, it wasn't unmanageable, and I just drank a bunch of water. I did drink some salt and electrolytes. You know, I used the element stuff during the night, or you know, when I would have eaten dinner. But yeah, I felt that mild hunger is what I would call it, and I had a mild headache. But I took some aspirin for the headache, and I just powered through the hunger because the hunger wasn't bad. It was very mild, and I did it. So that was not a concern either. The third thing was that I would feel bad. It would take a long time to get back on the wagon, or that my symptoms would last a long time. And I'm already 1 day later. So we ate at lunch, and it's lunch the following day. I feel good. I feel like I'm in control, and I am going to be able to easily make it to dinner or even breakfast tomorrow morning. So all in all, I would say this was a very successful cheat day. And if I was to prescribe a cheat day to people who are on carnivore, here's what I would recommend. Granted, I'm new carnivore, but that's the name of this channel. I'm a starting carnivore. So first of all, I would say plan your cheat day ahead of time. Don't let it be an impulse of, oh, I really want this thing all of a sudden, I'm going to indulge. I probably wouldn't do that unless you know for a fact, like, hey, I've got a good day after I cheat that I can help recover and fast, and it would be okay for me to fast and make sense with my schedule. So I would plan your cheat day and have it be a cheat meal, not a cheat day. Still attempt to do moderation. Like, don't go back for seconds. Say, like, I'm going to eat this much and then only eat that much. And then I would say fast for 24 hours afterwards. And then break your fast with a normal carnivore meal. And, oh, also, how much weight did I gain from my cheat meal? 0.7 pounds. So I'm not even that far off from where I was at the beginning of yesterday. So to gain 0.7 is no big deal, and I'm pretty sure I will lose 0.7 just from fasting today. So it's kind of like I take 2 days to stay at the same weight. You know, maybe I'll lose a little bit more than 0.7 and come out ahead after my cheat day, but I feel really good about that, and I think it's doable. And my plan is to be solid carnivore until Christmas Day, and then I'm going to cheat on Christmas Day again. I'm probably going to have breakfast, which is, we always do cinnamon rolls, maybe a really cool breakfast casserole, something like that, and then eat some candy. So I might feel a little bit worse for Christmas, and I will absolutely, hopefully, make a video about that in a month. But anyway, just wanted to encourage all of you and say that it is possible. And it was kind of refreshing, especially that pecan pie. I love pecan pie, and I had 2 slices of it, and I just enjoyed it. I was like, I have a plan. I'm going to enjoy this. It's not going to be guilty. The social expectations of eating with Thanksgiving, or eating Thanksgiving meal with family, was still met. So this just emboldens and strengthens my resolve to stay with carnivore. And I've been listening to tons of videos about other carnivores, and I found some really good channels that are like they're interviewing carnivores. There's one that's called No Carb Life, and it's just this guy, and he's constantly interviewing other carnivores and just asking them their story. And that's really encouraging, that sort of anecdotal evidence. And a lot of them are dealing with the same problems of, why am I doing this? What do other people think of it? How do I push through? What's my why? That's been really encouraging. And while I did not have terrible health concerns, I would say I had moderate health concerns starting carnivore, that like reasons I wanted to start. And I could tell that my overall well-being was going downhill. My quality of life was going downhill. The way I felt was just averaging lousy is the best way I can say it. Across a given week, the average of how I felt was just lousy. And every once in a while I'd have an okay day. And now when I'm on carnivore, my average is good. So on an average day, I feel pretty good. And on a good day, I feel great. So the bar has slid, or the scale has slid, where on my days that I don't feel the best, I still would say I feel pretty good. And on the days I feel really good, that's awesome. And I have a lot of those days where I feel pretty good. So that right there is a benefit, and I'm seeing a lot of other benefits too. I've already talked about that in other videos, so I won't go into it. And I will say, once again, I really enjoy being a scientist regarding my own body. So when you're eating the standard American diet, you can't be a scientist because you're eating so many different things. Oh, you have a headache today? Well, it could be one of the dozen different things that you ate, or, like 10 of them are different than what you ate last week. So good luck figuring out what change did you make to create that headache. But when you're doing an elimination diet like the carnivore diet, you're starting at a baseline of I'm only eating this food and I know how it makes me feel. And then I can try adding something. So I did it with cheese. I learned, yeah, I can definitely eat too much cheese on the carnivore diet. There is a limit where it is too much. But I also found if I eat 3 slices of cheese in a day, my body is fine with it. I continue my weight loss. I don't feel bad. And that's really neat of like, I can introduce this back in and I can try things. And I know that some people say, give it 90 days and then try introducing, but I don't know. It's just really interesting to test my body like that. And, I have tested drinking coffee. I don't drink a ton of coffee, but every once in a while I do. And I have found that if I do a latte, which is just coffee and steamed milk, no added sugar, it tastes good enough that it's worth drinking, in my opinion. But I'm not adding sugar and I'm drinking the equivalent of milk, which is fine in small amounts on the carnivore diet. And the amount of milk that you put in a latte is small anyway. So just being able to test stuff like that is really neat. And it wasn't possible on my old diet where I was just eating whatever. Final thing is I have slowly started to work out again. And I went to the Y last weekend, and it was really interesting how my body responded. So I think I'm still in the adaptation phase. I think I'm starting to get fat adapted. I'm coming up on 2 months now. I'm at 7 weeks in a couple days. So when I was working out, I have always tracked my the weight amounts that I lift because I have a cool app that works with my Apple Watch, which is awkward to show on this angle. There's a better way to show it. But so all of the weight that I lifted on Saturday, I had to turn it down from what I used to do. However, I noticed that my endurance was higher. I wasn't turning it down a lot, so I don't know, maybe I was doing a chest press, and instead of doing 75 pounds, I was doing 65, 10 pounds less. So I wasn't turning down the weight a ton, but I noticed that my endurance was better. And where I really noticed a change was when I did cardio. So I like to do treadmill workouts, and I've got a good subscription that I pay for through Apple Fitness, where you can do just really simple treadmill workouts. So I set my iPad on the treadmill, and it's basically bursts of like you're walking and then you're running, and you're walking and you're running, and you kind of go back and forth. And sometimes you're on a hill, and sometimes it's a sprint, and sometimes it's whatever. They just keep good variety for you. I noticed that I had a ton more endurance when I was running and jogging, and my average heart rate was a lot lower than it used to be. So all of that was encouraging. So I'm going to keep trying to increase the amount of working out that I do. And I think I want to try working out in the morning, just like maybe 10 minutes, because I think I can do that without having to get up any earlier. I think I can just squeeze 10 minutes out of my morning schedule by being more efficient. And it also helps that I'm not going to the bathroom in the mornings anymore. I don't have to go number 2, which, takes 5 or 10 minutes in the morning when you're kind of waking up, but I could just do that instead. So I'm going to try that and see how it goes. But yeah, I'm really excited. Looking forward to Christmas. And this also just gives me excitement that I can make it through holidays like Christmas and Thanksgiving without falling off the wagon of carnivore. So anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. Appreciate your time, and good luck in your own health journeys.